Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new AK After I Saw review episode for today. This is going to be my review on a film that just came out just a couple weeks ago around the globe, but this is not a theatrical release film. This is a streaming service film, which this was released on Hulu in the US, but this was released on Disney Plus in the UK. And I saw this movie a couple of days ago after it was first released. And I'm here to give you guys my personal thoughts on this release, which this is going to be my review on the 2022 science fiction horror action film, and this is the prequel to the franchise that began since '87, and that movie is Prey. Now, Prey, this is the prequel to the Predator franchise, and this was directed by Dan Trachtenberg, the man behind 10 Cloverfield Lane. And like I said, this is the prequel to the Predator franchise, and this is set in the Comanche area 300 years ago, where we follow this skilled warrior named Nora, played by Amber Midthunder, who basically was raised in the shadows from her tribe, and basically, like I said, she's a skilled warrior who is really good at hunting down anything, along with her brother. But something life-threatening happens to the Comanche area, because there's this dangerous alien that has just landed in their world, which is of course the Predator himself. He decides to come to their world to cause bloody chaos, and by I mean bloody chaos, of course, he's out there to basically hunt down and attack the Comanche tribe themselves, and it's basically up to Naru to basically use her skills of being a skilled warrior to basically hunt down and get rid of this Predator once and for all. So that's pretty much the story of Prey. Now, when it comes to the Predator franchise, obviously for the first movie, the first Predator film that was released back in '87, directed by John McTiernan and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, it is an awesome action movie. It's one of my favorite action movies of the '80s, one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films, and I still love it to this day. But when it comes to the sequels don't really hold up really well, really. Well, Predator 2 was okay. Predators was a decent sequel, and the Predator was fine, but just wasn't that great. And so when I heard we were getting a new Predator film, I was thinking, is it really worth it? Because for the last few films, they weren't even that good, to be honest. But when I heard it was a prequel, I was surprised, but again a little bit curious, because I didn't even know if it was going to be really worthy of another entry to the Predator franchise. But for Dan Trachtenberg, who was behind the camera, I was having a little hope, like what he can do for this movie, because I really enjoyed 10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought that was an awesome horror film of 2016, and one of my favorite films of that year. And that movie was even better than the first Cloverfield, so I was thinking this could maybe work out. And I didn't even know much of the stars who were in this movie, but I was intrigued to see what they can do for this entry to the Predator franchise. And I didn't see the trailer, but I saw a few posters and a few advertisements, and I didn't watch this on release day on Disney Plus because I was really busy and I was seeing some other things at the time. But when I managed to have a few days off work, I did watch it because I had nothing really else planned. So I watched this at home on Disney Plus. I had a drink with me, and I had some popcorn, and after watching Prey, I gotta say, Prey was absolutely awesome here. I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie, and I gotta say, this is even one of the I'd say this is definitely the best entry to the Predator franchise ever since the first, and far more better than the sequels for sure. And I can definitely say that Dan Trachtenberg did not disappoint here, because again, I had an awesome blast with Prey. There's definitely a lot of things to enjoy the hell out of Prey, like the cast in this film. I thought everyone was absolutely great in this movie, especially Amber Midthunder, who plays the protagonist in the film, Naru. She was terrific and really awesome in the movie, and I can definitely say for the character of Naru, she was really interesting ever since Arnold Schwarzenegger in the original Predator film. But for the sequels, they just had different protagonists, which for those protagonists in those sequels, I just didn't think they were that memorable or really interesting enough. But again, for the character of Naru, I thought she was really interesting ever since Arnie from the original film. And again, for the character development for her, I thought it was really interesting, like her relationship with her brother and all that, even though he's not in the movie that much. But I also liked her relationship with her dog companion, who joins her throughout this whole movie and all that, which was really good, because I really like dogs, since I'm a big dog lover myself. And also, of course, when we get to see the Predator himself again, it was really exciting to see him again. Just to see, doing, crazy amount of bloody carnage all over again. And for the violence in this film, I can definitely say the violence in this film was extremely bloody, really entertaining, but really gruesome at the same time. Like on how he kills how the Predator himself kills the native people in this film, which is extremely gruesome. And for those scenes, they just felt like the blood. It just felt like every single blood from those scenes was just splattered all over my face while I was watching those scenes. And they were directed so well done by Dan Trachtenberg, yeah. And also for his directing talent outside of those scenes, as well as like suspenseful scenes, it's visually stunning from the sets, the film, like where they shot the film, the costumes, the makeup, and the CGI and everything. It looks absolutely well done. And this film is pretty suspenseful too, and it's directed so well done for those scenes from Dan Trachtenberg, which really surprised me, and I was really happy at the same time. Because, you know, the original part of the film is known for being, you know, a violent and suspenseful film. But for the sequels, they just didn't feel like what the original part of the film was like. Because it was just made of being, you know, they were just made of being, you know, violent and entertaining films. But for Prey, I could definitely say that Dan Trachtenberg, he just absolutely knew what the original part of the film was like. And for adding everything from what the original part of the film had to be put in this one, I think he just did it so well done. He really pleased me here. Because I thought it was just going to be like what the original or the Predator sequels were like, but no, it just understood what the original Predator film was like. Which again, I was just really happy to see that in this movie here. And also, this film is really fast paced too. Despite only an hour and 40 minutes, it does manage to slow down a bit to get to any important moment of the film. But for the final act, which is my only nitpick I have, it is pretty fast paced. But but when we get to see, you know, the protagonist against the Predator, I just kind of felt it was a bit anticlimactic for myself, really. That was the only issue I had. But in the end, guys, Prey, it was an awesome prequel. It's definitely the best entry to the Predator franchise ever since the first film. It's far more better than the sequels. And again, it understood what the original Predator film was like, which, again, Dan Trachtenberg, I can definitely say he has pleased the fans here for this whole franchise of Predator. And I'm just so happy that this one did not turn out to be one ugly mother. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Prey. And if you are willing to watch this film, it is streaming on Hulu in the US, but it's also streaming on Disney Plus in the UK. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Prey. I'm going to give Prey 4.5 out of 5. Awesome score. Just despite having one little nitpick, I still had a blast with this one. And again, I'm really pleased that this one did not disappoint. And I'm glad this one is just not like the sequels to Predator. And again, for what the original Predator film was like, to be put in this one, I was just really satisfied with this one. And again, Dan Trachtenberg, I can definitely say, again, he has definitely pleased the fans of this whole Predator franchise. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Prey. And let me know what you think of this film. If you just recently watched this film, if you already watched this when it was first released, did you had a blast with this, or were you very disappointed with this? Again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews. And as always, this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.